Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi if you're new, and welcome to a reading vlog, basically. I didn't know what I was going to call it then. It's clearly a reading vlog. But tonight, I am going to read one book, and that is I Am Winter by Denise Brown. And I got this book at Yauch, and it was on the publisher stand, the hashtag press. I wasn't familiar with their works, I'll be honest with you. I'd never heard of this author, I'd never heard of this book. They were so enthusiastic and positive about it. I was like, I have to buy it because I think it sounds amazing. And it doesn't say an awful lot on the back, but it does say, we know what you did, they don't. And when Summer's best friend C dies from cardiac arrest after both girls have taken pills, the accusations on social media begin. But as the bullying intensifies, Summer grows closer to revealing the secret both families are harbouring. It doesn't tell you a lot, but it does sound really good. So thrillers and that, they're a little bit hit and miss with me, and I mean they are like 50-50 hit and miss with me. So I am intrigued. Also a little bit nervous because I've never heard anyone talk about this book before, but then that does make me a little bit more intrigued, because is this a book that just hasn't really been discovered and like brought out there yet? Am I going to discover something great, or am I going to have a bit of a rubbish night? We shall see. So, I just finished chapter 3, and it's okay. We've met Summer, we've met C, and we've joined them where they've sort of been a little bit bold, trying to act a little bit older than they are. They've gone out, they've been drinking in a park, and we learned a little bit more about them. So they've almost accidentally become friends. They've shared secrets with each other, and neither of them, I think, has a particularly brilliant, happy home life. And we've just basically hit the stage now where they've taken the drugs and Summer's woken up in hospital. But she seems to have already left it and is with some imaginary animal or something. Yeah, it's as weird as it sounds so far. So I don't know how I feel about it yet, because I think weird is the word so far. But I'm only on page 25. So, you know, it's too early for me to say, what is this? What am I reading? Or this is awesome so far. So I'm going to read a little bit more and I'll catch up with you a bit later. So, we're 6 chapters in. There's now talk of the funeral, and basically Summer has started being threatened. Sort of like, you know, if you turn up, we'll go public with what happened. But at the moment, we as readers have no reason to think anything else weird or unusual has happened. They're good friends. They made a wrong decision that night. And unfortunately, one of them died. You know, it's an awful shame. But that's kind of like how we are as a reader at the moment. But the vibe is there's more to this. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that more is. I believe this is written YA. And if it's not YA, it probably should be classed as YA. Although there are some more serious themes in it, it's kind of, I don't know, I think it could be more graphic and dodgy than it is. Hi, I love you too. Right, I'll catch up with you soon. So I'm a good third of the way through I Am Winter now. It's different. I don't love it, I don't hate it. It's really focused around Summer's grief at the moment, and to the point she's actually seeing Cece and talking to her in a room and that. And really she's just in some destructive spiral almost with the grief here. She's clearly not getting the support that she needs. But that's kind of been the focus. We know there have been digs made about her from Cece's family and friends, with the implication being that Summer's the one that gave her the drugs. And at the moment, Summer's saying, well, actually, no, Cece came with the drugs. There's obviously more to that bit that we just don't know yet. But yeah, it's fine. I did look into it. It is a YA book. which is why it's written like YA, so that makes sense. Because I did wonder that earlier. But yeah, so far, it's an interesting read. I am halfway through now, I Am Winter, but I am going to stop for the night. Now, the reason I'm doing that is I'm hoping, now I've hit the 50% mark, the rest is really going to kick it up a notch, that it will get dramatic, that we'll have some reveals, we'll have a lot more going on than we've had in the first half. And I've still got stuff to do. I've got to finish packing a bag for going away. I'm about to jump in a bath, and maybe my mind isn't where I want it to be if I'm about to get into sort of the meaty bit of a book like this. At the moment, though, this is kind of just like an emotional, like, portrayal of poor Summer's grief and her going into this, like, depression spiral, and she's still seeing Cece. We're seeing some different sides, some members of the family now. So the stepdad, who's been portrayed as a bit of a knob, I'll be honest, at the beginning, they sort of had a bit of a connection. She's getting on well with her half brother, and we've met a few more characters now, but there's still this underlying current where there's some bitchiness from people that knew Cece, family and friends, who are blaming Summer. And, you know, at the end of the day, so far as we're aware, Summer is innocent. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I just want to be maybe a little bit more focused when I read the second half. So I thought, do you know what? Let's wait. Let's read it later in the week. So I shall catch up with you then. I have returned to I Am Winter. This is actually now a good few weeks later. And it's just time, Christmas. Do you know what I mean? Life happens, and I hadn't been able to pick this up. But I've read a few chapters, and I'm struggling a little bit to get back in the story. It's taken me a few chapters to get back in. But basically, Summer's mum has kind of riled C's family, and they're getting abusive things put through the door now because obviously Summer is still blamed for the death at the moment. So that's about as far as I am. But yeah, it's just taken me a good few chapters to get back in. But that's what happens when you leave it so long. My own fault. So I've got about 60-70 pages left now. I am probably back in the story. I do feel very sorry for Summer, but I'm a little bit concerned, and it's not a spoiler because I genuinely don't know, but I'm a little bit concerned that we are just getting so wrapped up in feeling sorry for Summer, and then potentially the bombshell's going to be dropped that actually it was her that killed C. But I don't think so. I don't know. I admit, for me it's beginning to feel like it's dragging a little bit now. I just kind of want the answers. You know, I feel sorry for her that she seems to be being attacked with things thrown through the door and stuff like that. You know, if she doesn't deserve it, which at the moment we don't think she does. But at the same point, I feel that that's actually gone on now for quite a few chapters, and I'm a little bit like, can we just move on and get there? But yeah, it's fine. I shall continue. So there's 40 pages left, and we still haven't got any proper answers. And I'm a little bit concerned we're not going to get them. Or now if we do, with 40 pages, it's going to be so rushed. So keen to finish it, but a little miffed, perhaps. But we'll see if I still am by the end, I guess. So, I've just finished I Am Winter, and I really don't know what to say. I decided to vlog reading this book because I was so sure this was potentially going to be at least a 4-star book. And, you know, I'm going to be honest on my channel here. If I didn't particularly enjoy a book, I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to love every single book I read. But I feel really disappointed that I had hyped this up so much to myself, to the point I've done a whole vlog on it, and it just fell short for me. So, I mean, on the plus side, I didn't see anything happening that happened. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see any of the reveals. And I like that aspect of it. However, I just didn't like the ending. And it's such a change. I felt like the first third of the book was on it, and then all of a sudden it just started really, really dragging. And then the reveals were very rushed, and they just weren't as full on as I would have liked it, and it's frustrating. So I mean, if you're looking for a YA thriller and you just, you want a short, quick read and something that's a little bit different, the description of Summer's grief and that I felt was really quite intense. There was definitely this deep, dark intensity to the book. But for me, it just needed a little bit more, and yeah, I am just completely divided what to rate it. So yes, I would recommend it. However, wasn't for me. Wouldn't put me off reading from the author. Would definitely give this author another go if they've read anything else. But yeah, it's just, when you hype something up and it just, doesn't do it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video anyway, and you've, stuck with me for this reading experience, and let me know below if you have, and if this book maybe does appeal to you and you want to give it a go, and that's great. But yeah, gonna love you and leave you now. I'll speak to you in my next video. Bye.